This is how I replaced the heater core in a 2001 Lincoln Town Car Executive Series. I took a half a pound of Tannerite. No, it didn't. But that'd have been a lot more fun. Anyway, this vehicle had been setting and didn't know anything about it. When we got it, the heater hoses were disconnected and hooked together. And there's only one reason that is ever done. Anyway, after confirming the heater core was leaking, we went to taking it apart. So I'm going to rotate my phone and we'll try and show you what I had to do to get it apart and all that good stuff. That's right there. Okay. There is the 2000 Lincoln Town Car. You have to, yeah, you can see where it'd been sitting in the woods. It was full of rodent nest. You have to take the windshield washer wiper assembly off because there's one screw that you have to get to. Actually, it's a nut that you have to get to right there. You see the hole right there. And the only other fastener that you have to take off from this side of the vehicle is right down there. You see that where there's a, I don't think you'll be able to see it from here. You see that hole? I'm pointing to it right there with my finger. That's a pass-through for a harness. But up here to be the top, actually the top right, but as you're looking at it, be the top left, there's a 10 millimeter head screw that goes through and connects to right there. That'd be right over here is the passenger side door, so it's right down there. Those are the only screws or fasteners that you have to unhook from under the hood. But to get to it, you have to take the cowling off of it. I got it over here. You can see where the rodents have been in there and made an awful mess. I took that nut off, didn't have to. But there's one there. I took that one off and didn't have to. There's one there that goes all the way through. I didn't even have to take that one off. So we got fasteners over here and there and right there. That's how that comes up out of there. Just disconnect the connector for it, for the wiper motor, and that comes up out of there. It seems worse than it actually is, but this has got a couple of clips that goes like right there, and that pinches the top and the bottom together. But there's 3 of these really long screws that go through there, and they fasten into that right there. Anyway, you'll see here's all the fasteners I took off to get the washer deal off, but like I say, there was 2 or 3 of those I didn't have to take off. Anyway, get up underneath the steering wheel. I dropped the steering wheel down. Let's see, let's go over to this side. Dropped the steering wheel down. I didn't disconnect all of the harness off of it, but there's 1, 2, 3 screws at the top, and then there's 1 down here, and then you have to there's a hole that you have to reach through the dash when it's up installed, and you got to take a nut off. It's right here. It's a 15mm head socket, but you got to reach up through at an angle and get that off. And back to this side. Take your ground harness connectors that are right here off of this fastener there, and there's a nut right there, and then there's a 10mm head screw. Now let's see, let's get a light. The screw goes through right here. Just you got to reach through the glove box. You got to take the glove box out. You reach through the glove box hole and get to that screw that goes through right there. Or, well, it's not a screw, it's a bolt. Let's see where. Oh, right there. But it wouldn't. It was that clip nut or whatever it is. It's broke. I had to use a grinder to cut that head off so I could get that out of there. But anyway, there's one fastener right there that you have to take off, and then there's two right down there, and then move my light beam so you can see, but there's a nut right there. You gotta kind of stick a long screwdriver or a extension through there and a 10mm socket, deep socket, to get that off. And that's where that screw comes through that is down there underneath, and see, there's your wire harness. Unfortunately, that harness doesn't have a connector on it. It's all fastened up to the dash, so I left it on there. And took some wriggling and pulling and cussing, and once I finally got it broke loose, it come right out. And anyway, the heater box, fortunately, is very light, and you don't have to mess with the air conditioner on this at all. You don't have to discharge it, but this is where the heater core sets in. And there's your new one right there. Here's the old one. I cut the ends of the pipe off to see if it would make it easier to get that heater box out, but I don't think that really helped. But anyway, that was junk. I had to clean a bunch of rodent nest out of this, wash it out, and the mice had chewed through here and got up in the heater box. And but anyway, put that on there and put the blend door motor, or actuator door motor, back on there, and it goes that way. And anyway, this is not a 4-hour job. It's a big one, but you don't have to mess with the air conditioner, and you don't have to take the dash clear out of the vehicle. Just take it good and loose, and most of the steering column and all of that is pretty much the same on all of these Fords. And anyway, book time on it's about 11 hours. That's what I'm going to make on it. So this is how you do it on a Lincoln Town Car Executive Series, and you're good to go.